So good morning everyone. Today we discuss about there in chapter number 6. The important point is here the principle and operation of the cutout and regulator. So this is important for some the electronic and electrical based systems for different kind of their things. So what are the different kind of things when we control any kind of the vehicles is light motor vehicles or these heavy motor vehicles. For that we use some these type of some electronic based systems. So in the last practical we discussed here, sorry, in the last lecture we discussed here some important points is nothing but the drive train. Then this drive train is moving with the help of some important diagrams. This is with the help of some the electrical vehicles. Today we discuss is nothing but that the cutout and cutoff regulators. So this cutout relay is the voltage regulators typically in 2 to 3 relays electronic mechanical systems to protect and damage the vehicle charging systems. The cutoff relay function as here some magnetic switches connecting the regulator to battery only when the voltage is high enough. The preventing the battery discharge voltage regulator limits and the protecting the battery from the overcharging. It means that so whenever we shown in this form there, this the whenever is shown as here some in the form of here, this the connecting the generator to the battery when the voltage is high enough and preventing the battery discharge and the voltage regulator limits to this protecting the battery from overcharging. So there is shown as some regulator, this cutout. Okay, this cutout frame, regulator and cutout frame is connected to the resistance is shunt coil and then series coil. This series coil is connected to this A and then the series coil again connected to this the E. So when it is a high voltage is comes from their supply to this distribution and this batteries or any kind of some on-grid process. So when we use that time we use these the regulator cutoffs and this regulator cutoff is protecting the battery from the overcharging. Similarly, we right now being used here in batteries, mobile charging is there and laptop charging. When it is not required, the maximum current to charge toward the battery, just like that we can use there. So, what is the principle behind of this cutoff relay? It acts as here some automatic polarity sensitivity magnetic switch. It relies on their magnetisms to bridge the generator's battery circuits and easier. So depends upon the operation is their first point is charging. As the generator speed up, the voltage rises and the shunt coil magnetizes the iron core, the pulling closed contact points and connecting the generator to the batteries. Discharging the ideal if the generator stop and the run slowly voltage drops, a spring breaks and the contact points, the preventing this battery from their discharging backward into the generator. The second is the voltage regulator. The principle it works the controlling the field current to generators and alternators use these electromagnetic coils and contact to this rapidly on their close 20 50 to 200 per second and this field circuits is keeping the voltage contacts. This operation takes place into this high voltage when output voltage exceeds the targets. For example, is taken as put it into this the 14.2 voltage. The regulator coils become stronger enough to lift and armatures opening the contact points. So with the help of some high voltage, we put it these exit targets is from this 12.6 voltage to this 14.2 voltage for regulating the strong enough lift to this armature. Similarly, for operation we can use the second point is control. Opening the point force current through these registers which weaken the generator's field strength and reduces the output voltage. Then low voltage, we once we one voltage drop, the spring closes to the points again bypassing the resistors and allowing the voltage to this increase. So with the help of some current regulators, these the optional third units is depends upon the function of the principal here, the similar to the voltage. Then the unitizes the series coils and monitors the amount of the current flowing the batteries. Then operation, it protects the generator from their overloading by opening and closing its contacts by regulator limits and maximize the amperage the output regardless of their out voltage. Then the summary of these components here, we can use this the cutout relay and connected disconnected to the generators, batteries, and then battery regulators to the maintain the voltage and preventing the overcharging. And the regulator current regulator limits the to provide that. So similarly, we can use this type of this the cutoff relays is useful for the cutout and regulator the voltage. So this cutout the regulator voltage to protect and manage the vehicle charging systems, and this cutoff relay function as their magnetic switch connecting this generator to this battery only when the voltage is higher enough and preventing the battery discharge, and then voltage regulators limits and generator voltage protecting the batteries from the overcharging. And this overcharging we can regulate with the generator voltage and the preventing the battery discharge. Generally, when we use this cutout relay reverse current cutout, which depends upon the principle, it acts on this automatic and polarity sensitivity magnetic switches. It relies on their electromagnetics and bridge and the generator battery circuits. Is charging takes place in this air, the generator speed up this voltage raises this shunt coil and magnetize this the iron core pulling this close to this closed points is connected to this batteries. The discharging or the ideal when we taken in the form of here, if the generator stops and the run slowly, voltage drops, its spring breaks the contact points and preventing the batteries from discharging backward to the generators. And then voltage regulator, the principle works on their this the current controlling the feed current and generator alternator use these magnetic coils is approximately 50 to 200 times per second is field circuits, and then operation takes place the high voltage is control the low voltages. So similarly, we can apply some current voltage is the optional third inputs. Its principles is function of here similar voltage regulator, but utilizing series coil monitors amount of this flowing. This the operation takes place. It protects the generators from their overloading, this opening and closing its contacts, and regulator limits this maximum uh, amperage this output regardless to this voltage. And summary of these components we take an ads control with the help of some different functional components is the cutoff relays, then voltage regulator and current regulator. Okay, so this is the some importance for some their cutoff regulator. Okay, so any kind of helps, any kind of sim shown as here, this will be helpful for your. Thank you.